Welcome to For the Love of Rugby podcasts. I'm Shaunagh Brown and I'm joined by Maud, Muir and Sadia Kabeya.
Hey everyone.
So, did you not like that voice?
Sorry, no, I loved it.
I
Yeah.
like to mix up my voices to keep you girls on your toes more than anything. Round 3, we're at the end of round 3. Hasn't it flown by? Well, I say hasn't it? I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Has it flown by?
It's flown by, but it's not, you know? One of those.
Yeah. I feel like I've been living every minute of it, you know? So.
Yeah.
Let's do the headlines, but of course it has to be headlines in your best newsreader voice, please, Maud.
Okay then.
Sum it up.
Let's do this. England go 3 from 3 in Ireland. France come out on top against Wales.
And Italy get their first win of the Six Nations away to Scotland.
Welcome home.
Home.
You've been abroad.
We're back in Britain.
We are. Our home.
The luxury.
You've been abroad. Where did you go?
We went to Cork in Ireland.
We did go to Cork. And of course, the usual shenanigans happened.
Tell
What
us.
happened?
Maud, your Maud tours on the
Oh,
bus.
yes, Maud Tours. Yeah.
Maud tours.
It
Is
was
there an
fun.
official name for it now?
What did I put on my vlog? I can't remember. Maud's Tours?
Maud's bus tours.
Maud's Bus. It doesn't really roll off
Yeah.
the tongue. I'll think of a better
But
name.
I think Maud's Tours.
Maud's tours is
Maud's
good.
Tours.
Maud's
yeah.
Tours is good.
Yeah.
What is cracking me up is this new, fake rivalry with you and Amy.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Amy Cocaine.
Amy Cocaine, yeah.
Well, she's
which is
just so
giving-
mouthy. I've got to give it back to her. You know
And
what I
Maud
mean?
has been giving it back and it's been hilarious, you know. The bus is loving it. Amy's loving it.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Back
Amy
and
loves a
forth,
bit
you
of
know.
confrontation.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's read through.
Also, because I'm obviously at the front with Luce, because Luce gets a bit travel sick, bless her, and now I do the bus tours. They occasionally at the back of the bus just shout my name, and I do get FOMO. Yeah, I'll have my hands held high. I do get FOMO. Okay, like severe FOMO. And if you say my name, yeah, my head's gonna turn. You know what I mean? And they started playing bogeys with my name.
And if you don't know what bogeys is, it's a game where basically you say bogeys, but normally you do it in a quiet place like a library and you play it with your friends. So Maud, let's demonstrate. Bogeys.
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 Bogeys. Bogeys. And basically you have to do it until someone gets kicked out or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll play
Louder
Maud's
and
name at the back of the
louder.
bus trying to get her attention, until she actually turned
So
around.
instead of saying bogeys, they were
They say
saying
Maud
Maud.
because they wanted me to get FOMO, basically.
And did you?
Actually, no.
Okay.
No, she was locked in. I think you were
progress.
editing. I think you were busy.
Yeah, maybe. And I love being at the front with Luce anyway. I love Luce's addition to Maud's Tours as well because can you hear her on the mic?
No,
ever?
sometimes we can and it is quite
I
funny.
wish you do. Or I need to get her a mic as well because she is so funny. She says such funny things. I wish you could all hear them.
Okay, so on Maud's Tours, how long was your tour?
It's quick journey, so it was
journey.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
How would you feel about a 13-hour Maud's Tours?
Yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah, I'm going to say no
Everyone
to that
would-
one.
everyone-
I'm going to
Do you
say
know where that number
no.
came from?
No?
That's the amount of time Wales spent on their bus getting to France.
Oh my gosh.
Where were they playing?
In France.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Shaunagh. Thank you. Obviously not somewhere central where they could fly to.
The detail is they had a 13-hour drive once they landed in Bordeaux.
Really?
Landed in Bordeaux and then 13-hour drive. But because of real bad traffic,
Oh my
not planned.
gosh.
I'd like to think a team
Yeah,
manager wouldn't
no.
plan for international rugby
Yeah.
players to be on a bus for 13 hours.
No.
But stuff happens.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
didn't arrive till 8 o'clock the night before the game.
That is savage.
Which
actually.
also, what does that mean? What did they miss out on?
Captain's Run.
Oh wow! Did they miss
No,
Captain's
Captain's
Run?
Run.
No captain's run.
Oh, I did not
Yeah.
realise that. To be
Yeah.
fair, I'm happy without a Captain's Run. No,
I sometimes do believe that the prep should be done,
Yeah.
But obviously something like to dust up on a few things and, run
Dust
through
the cob.
game.
What was the phrase? The
Rusting
rusting
the
the
cobwebs.
cobwebs.
Rust and cobwebs.
Yeah, no cobwebs should be there that week. You know?
I think I liked it because it was just a bit of movement because the day before was your day off.
Yeah.
I didn't use it for rugby. I didn't really
Yeah.
need it to learn rugby. It was more just getting a run around and actually getting out the hotel because so
Yeah,
easily you
true.
just get caught being inside the hotel. And for anyone that doesn't know, Maud, do you want to tell us what captain's run is?
Yes, Captain's Run is the day before a game, you just do kind of a trial of the moves going into the game. And it's probably, it's fast paced, but you get rest between it. It's not about pushing you to the limits. It's about fine tuning.
Very quick.
Yeah, fine
Half
tuning.
an hour.
Yeah, half an hour max,
40 minutes
including
max.
warm-up.
Yeah.
Literally players running off the pitch as soon as that 40-minute mark comes.
In like World Cup, you were timed and you could not be on the pitch any longer.
Yeah, time to go.
And crucially, it's in the stadium that you're playing in the next day. And we do try to get it around kickoff time as well, and a difference like between a midday kickoff or a French 8-9 p.m. kickoff. We try and do it.
To be fair, I feel like they've stopped doing that. It's just
Yeah, I
either
think
in the
they
morning
have.
or the afternoon,
Yeah.
and normally the home team does it in the morning to get it over and done with.
Okay. Sorry. No, I like
You
it.
learn
Things
something
have
new.
changed.
Learn something
every day.
new.
Yeah.
How things have changed. It's been a while. It's been a while. Bus drivers. Do you have the same bus driver every week?
No.
No.
I loved our bus driver, the most recent one from Cork. He was really nice.
I actually don't remember. I don't think I remember
well,
his
you know,
face.
I'm at the front, so I get
I'm always there
good
saying, hello,
relationship.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
But
Okay, what makes a good bus driver? So for anyone who's listening right now, Maud's doing some movements with her hand.
I'm just
with her
trying
hand,
to think.
with her shoulders. She's in a thinking mood.
I'm in a thinking mood. Like, just really chatty, likes to speak to me.
Likes that specifically more.
Specifically me.
more.
And like gets involved, like laughs at my jokes, you know?
They need to make Maud
was
feel
really nice.
good, is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah,
Do you remember we
yeah.
had that one bus driver? He was definitely a Caribbean man or something, and he got on the mic and said, all right, girls, today we are going. He immediately was like, this is the Red Roses
I do
Express.
remember.
We're going to.
He was in. He was
in. I was like, who
invested.
is that on the mic?
It was quite nice though. It
was.
felt like we were on a bus
T
tour.
minus blah 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 hours away from. I was like, okay.
This is it. We're in.
Yeah.
So highlight of Cork.
Highlight of Cork. Well, I actually had a really lovely day with Meg. You bumped into us.
Meg Jones?
Meg Jones.
In the town.
The day before the game, we were just like, we went to a vintage shop, which was quite cool. Tried on a few hats and bought a gilet. You know, I love my gilets.
Yeah, but you there.
And then we were like a bit peckish, and then ended up having like a 3-course meal, but as a snack. So then we didn't eat dinner, but like we had like.
Well, what did
dinner.
you get there? One of your favourite things?
I had a hot dog.
She got herself a sausage.
love a sausage.
She loves
I
a
do.
sausage.
Are we talking like German breakfast?
Yeah. Rory, our media
Camera guy.
cameraman, my favourite person, he recommended I asked him for advice for
Maud
stores, and he said this sausage place. So we got it. It was like in a nice baguette, and it was like Subway, but sausages, hot dogs. Not hot dogs, like an actual sausage.
yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
like Frankfurt. And then we were like, we bumped into some people, and they were having a dessert, a crepe. So I thought, perfect, we'll get a crepe. And then we were so full. But then, it was basically our dinner.
Sorry, only a prop accidentally has a free course meal, and he bought Meg Jones
and
on
Maggie,
board.
and Maggie.
No, Meg was all for it. Meg was leading the charge, to be fair. No, but we were fueled for the next day.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Loading up.
Loading up.
Carb
loading.
Carb loading, exactly. And as you've just told us, one of the little trinkets you've put on the board.
Yes.
Let's go through the board. What have you bought this week for us, Maud?
Yeah, I haven't actually brought that much, but I did bring the sausage sticker. And then I picked up a little keyring from the airport that was a little Irish sheep. And Amy Cocaine was very surprised at the amount I paid for it. It was €10, but I thought perfect for the board.
How did she express her disconcern?
€10.
That is probably very accurate.
Yeah, and to be fair, she was taking the mickey out of me for spending like €50 on some hair essentials. They're like slick brush and gel.
It actually did look very good, that brush.
It's a very good brush. But she was, saying that I probably spent a bit too money. But, money
YOLO.
comes and goes. But
YOLO,
but
Shaunagh.
little
YOLO.
sheeps
You
never
only
leave.
live once.
YOLO, yeah.
YOLO.
What did you say about sheeps?
Sorry. I was trying to think of something off the top of my head. I said, money comes and goes, but I don't even know what I said.
Okay.
It's gone from me.
Sheep hearings don't.
Yeah, I think I said that.
Do you want me to tell you what I brought?
Oh, yeah. I'd
What
love
did you
to,
bring,
Shaunagh.
I
Shaunagh?
assume,
What
Sadia,
did
you
bring?
haven't
No,
bought anything but yourself.
no, but I actually did think, because I went to Penny's, which is Primark, but in Ireland.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought, maybe I should bring the receipt, but I chucked it in the bin. So,
The receipt.
well, yeah, because it said Penny's, and it's the
Yeah.
English version, and it's why I don't do this stuff.
But it was progress because you thought about
I
it.
did think it's the thought that
just
counts.
in action. Maybe we'll build on that.
Yeah.
We've only got a couple of games left, but maybe by the end we'll get something on the board.
Yeah.
Maybe
anyway,
something.
Shaunagh, you go. Tell us what you bought.
Okay, I've been on DIY SOS this week.
Oh, that is actually really cool. Sorry, I just thought that was from your loft or something.
On the telly. So I got given a hat with a sticker in my name. So
Very
everyone knew I was
cool.
sticker in name.
Nice.
So I'll put that on my head for now.
For the audio listeners, Shaunagh has got out her hard hat from DIY SOS, and it has her name written on the front.
So everybody knows who I am.
Everyone knows that it's a hers.
Right, we do have lots of rugby to talk about this weekend, and I can't wait to get into you girls' game. That was quite the game. But in the meantime, we've had some fan questions in, listener questions. Sally Wenham 88 would like to know, what are your spirit animals? I'm going to go Sadia as a sloth.
I was going to say
Okay.
sloth.
Yeah, nice.
I don't appreciate that.
Good.
I don't appreciate that.
Why not?
I think they are you.
They just
Okay, I know I
chill.
sleep a lot, and I move around slowly, but
No.
They're also really vicious, I'm pretty sure, aren't they? On the outside.
Well,
on the
there you go.
pitch, What do you
take it.
think you are yourself?
I was gonna go a koala because they do move slowly, and they they like to sleep, but they do get about a bit more.
You're not very
Do you
huggy,
think?
though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Maud knows because Maud gives huggy.
I
and
am
she'll
huggy.
attempt a few hugs. You'll be rejected.
Yeah.
Okay, koala
Okay,
then.
moving on.
Let's do Maud.
I was going to say koala, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see you more as a koala, to be fair.
Really?
Huggy
Yeah.
and...
But they just chill.
How do you know?
What about like a boxer dog? Boxers are always...
Such rogue
Sorry,
animals.
I'm not seeing this
but
as
I'm thinking
more,
of animals that move a lot. How often do you see Maud just sitting
No,
down?
I
It's a miracle
know.
she sits for this podcast recording.
Yeah, true.
That's
True,
very true.
actually.
That's very true.
Okay,
Okay,
you've got to do me.
Shaunagh.
Oh,
Do me.
Shaunagh.
I'm thinking a peacock.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm thinking a peacock.
I quite like peacock,
Yeah.
So I do like to show off every now and
Shake your
again.
feathers.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh. Yeah.
Shake your mama gave you.
Yeah.
I'm okay with blowing my own trumpet,
Shake what your mama gave you.
Okay, next question is from Miss Christy Bell. One gym exercise that you would happily never do again, and one that you would happily do all day long.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
And you're gonna have to explain it if
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I really don't like what we're doing at the minute, the bench pull things when you're lying down on a bench and then
yeah.
have to like tuck your legs in. Like it doesn't feel heavy, but I just
belly
can't
down.
do it. I don't
Yeah.
know how else to
I quite
describe
love
it.
a bench pull.
Yeah, I'm not great. Have
And one you do all day long.
you got any?
No, I don't really like the gym.
Oh. Sorry, I wish I could look like your arm muscles and not like the gym.
Thank
Like
you.
that annoys me. That annoys me.
Something that I'd love to do. I like a clean pull. A rat clean pull.
You like cleans.
And you let go of the bar each time, or you hold on to it.
Hold on to it.
Okay, nice.
3 reps, hold on to it. Quick,
Yeah.
done. So I like
3
it.
reps.
I'm a 3 rep girl.
Yeah.
Any more and it feels like conditioning.
Yeah, I think that's a forward thing, particularly front row, particularly very strong people. That's what I'm gonna.
Although
say.
bench press the other day, I did 9 reps.
Very
mad.
nice. Was
Of
that your,
any decent weight, or
AMRAP?
Like 70 something. I don't know. It was just AMRAP.
yeah.
As many reps,
As many
as,
reps
possible.
as possible.
And I was
AMRAP.
like, wow,
CrossFitter.
9. Sorry.
My
You?
favorite,
Yeah, what's
my
yours?
favorite is always a snatch, straight from the floor.
Did you
and we
ever
never
do that
No,
for-
we
in
never really did
rugby?
it in rugby.
No.
And I would do it sometimes if I got a spare 5 minutes, which was rarely. But straight, so you pull it from the floor,
Yeah.
wide grip, straight above your
Off
head.
your head, yeah.
I
yeah.
think that would end
Very,
in
very
disaster for me.
powerlifting.
But exactly, it's just a lot of fun, and you either do it or you really don't do it. There's no
Yeah.
middle ground. You can't like
Yeah,
do a
yeah.
bad snatch. You
Yeah.
do it or you don't do it.
Yeah.
And then one I would hate, probably say lunges. They're
I hate lunges. They hurt no matter what weight.
they're so hard.
So hard. I
I
feel like
just
I'm
do it
throwing my
forward
body.
lunges or side? Because I hate side lunges.
What,
with a
Cossack
passion.
lunge? Is that
We can just say side lunge.
side lunge? Sorry.
Side lunges with a dumbbell or
Yeah.
a kettlebell.
Anything.
I just
anything.
hate
I do.
it.
I'm not good at single leg movements.
it, yeah.
Probably because I'm so not balanced.
And lunges is then something. No matter how often I've done it that week or that month, I'll always get DOMs after
Always
it.
Yeah,
get
yeah.
DOMs.
And it never
Always
gets
get
easier.
DOMs.
The quads do feel like they're ripping. off the bone.
But doesn't it make you feel strong though?
Doms
You
does
think,
make you feel
"Whoa."
strong.
No.
Oh.
It makes me tired. It makes me
Okay,
tired.
pop quiz Maud. What does DOMS stand for?
Delayed onset of muscle soreness.
Not soreness.
What is it?
I had it syndrome.
No.
Delayed onset of muscle syndrome.
No.
No,
Shaunagh
that
Brown,
doesn't sound right,
Shaunagh
does it?
Brown, you are
I think
incorrect.
you might be
win
wrong.
1-0.
I think you might be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, right. So you do lunges on a Monday.
Yeah.
When is your DOMS worse? On a Tuesday or on a Wednesday?
Haven't done
Depends.
lunges in about 5 years.
I just it could be any
Sorry,
exercise.
theoretically.
I would say it hits me
Theoretically.
probably the next day, you know.
Does it?
I get that
It
from a
is
game.
delayed,
I get
you
that
know.
from a game.
Sports science.
Yeah, sports science. We both actually have sports science degrees. I don't know if you knew.
Well, no, mine's not completed yet.
Oh yeah, 6 years. And counting.
5 years. 5 years more.
Sorry,
not 6.
How far into the 5 years are you?
I'm on my 4th year.
Get it, girl.
Still technically 2 more, really.
Oh, yeah.
Because right now you're representing your country.
I am.
For king and for country.
That's what I tell myself every single day when I get that iPad out.
We also quite enjoyed one of the comments, Sadia. It was, Sadia, when are you going to start putting highlights on YouTube from Aidan Wickham?
Highlights on YouTube. It's in rugby highlights.
Rugby highlights.
And he put strong exclamation marks. I think he wants a bit of game highlights, but also life highlights.
Right. Okay. Well,
that wild and wonderful
Aidan,
lifestyle.
I have some bad news for you. I'm too lazy to do that. So
Nice one.
But we know
I'm not
What
gonna
if
be-
you filmed
I'm just
it
gonna
and
be
got an
honest.
editor or something like
I
that?
think she's hidden at some work.
Oh no, I
Our
do not.
residential editor
It
over
takes me enough blooming effort to do the vlog every week, isn't
I
it?
actually, fun fact, I actually used to vlog when I was younger.
Did you?
Yeah, I had an
See, it's
actual
in you.
YouTube channel. Yeah,
we
so
go.
I don't know what it was called, but I was
Sadia
vlogging. I
Kabeya?
go out for dinner with my friends and be like, "Hey guys, we're at the dinner. Say hello," and I would upload it on YouTube. I don't know
Okay.
where that energy's gone. That was there, and it's
It's going into the uni work, isn't it?
into uni work. Thank you. Lord.
So, if we said that if there's any listeners out there who would be prepared to edit it for you,
Do you know what?
would you get the content?
I would get the.
And what if they started and looked after the whole YouTube channel for you? All you would have to do is get the content. Like, give the people what they want. I wonder if Aidan's any
Do you
good
know
at
what,
editing.
Aidan? You know, if you can edit for me, then maybe I'll get the content. Maybe.
Okay. One for the future.
One for the future, one for the
One to watch for.
future.
One to watch for. Right, I guess we should probably talk about some rugby.
We probably should.
France versus Wales.
Yes.
Score France 32, Wales 12.
Yeah.
At half time, it was 21-12. Full house in Brève, the stadium in France. France do it well, don't they?
Yeah,
They do.
They do
The
do it.
crowds are always very, very good. in
Very
France.
loud.
Very loud. Yeah.
What do you put it down to? Do you know?
I think they just love rugby out there.
Yeah, they
I think
do.
that's- and they sport their like be a great supporters here, but they love their team, the women's
Yeah.
teams. They just all come out together and they have a great time.
They do.
That live band.
It is great.
That's what it is. I'd be there.
Yeah.
I would be there for that live band. So I understand.
Did you watch the game? Did you get a chance to watch?
Did
Yeah.
watch it, especially rewatched it as well, which was good.
Ooh.
I know, because
Yes.
we were kind of like in between our pre-match stuff, so couldn't watch it fully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get a
Yeah, I
chance?
had a
what
chance
did
to
you
watch.
think?
I mean, I thought, was it raining out there?
Yeah, it did,
Yeah.
yeah, it did look
because
slippy.
the ball was very, very greasy. But I thought Wales actually put up a really good show in that first half, especially defensively. Because I think when France get on a roll, you can't stop them. But they wasn't letting them get that. And I think that was giving Wales the energy when they did get the ball
Yeah.
to kind of go at France. So
Yeah.
I thought it was a good game of rugby. Obviously, France came out on top in the end.
And their kicking game is on show again. Firstly, they kick for points again.
I know they did. I
They
thought,
have been
and
kicking
it
for
was like
points.
only like
Yeah.
10-15 minutes
Yeah.
in,
It's
wasn't it?
definitely a practice game
Yeah.
plan thing for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah,
For you girls. They're getting
Maybe.
ready.
maybe.
They're getting ready for you. But then also you got the crossfield kick from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arbez over to
Very,
well
Boulard.
very nice.
executed.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Pinpoint.
That was nice,
Very
that
nice.
wasn't it?
Who was
Yeah.
that to you? Manager?
Boulard.
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 Yep. And then for Wales, what do you think let Wales down?
Their set piece was probably not as strong as they would have liked, but like the French have got very good set piece. They've got very big ball carriers as well. They probably won the offloading game. Like their collisions were very dominant, the French, and their offloads meant that they stayed on top and Wales just couldn't recover from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Wales were in it for
Yeah,
a good
they were.
50 minutes, and similar
Yeah.
to Ireland, which we'll obviously get onto. But what do you put it down to? Like if the game of rugby was 50 minutes long, the Six Nations would be a lot more back and forth. There'd be a lot more variety in results, shall we say? But what do you put it down to? Is it fitness? Is it endurance? Is it about your bench? Is it about mindset? What do you think it comes down to?
Probably a bit of both, or of everything you just said.
I gave many options.
Yeah, a lot of everything. But I think endurance has to play a part in it. You know, to be able to stick out a game for 80 minutes, you know, grinding out, especially when you're in an arm wrestle like they were. It's like one of those things you just got to wait until something switches. I think for Wales, maybe they couldn't keep it on for that long, and then France took the opportunity when they did. And like Maud said, they were getting the offload game, getting through, and that's, you know, it puts the morale down when you start getting on the back foot every single time, taking tackles. So I think a lot of it actually is down to endurance, but then once that goes, then you kind of get into a bit of a mind battle too.
It's all about momentum for me. If you
that was it. Full stop. Next
stop.
question.
Sorry, I was just doing, the dramatic pause for effect. No, I think like for us, for example, in that second half, and for the French, when you did one good thing, it kind of relished the whole team together, and you built that momentum, and you kept doing positive things.
Yeah, and we did see that across both games, and you can sometimes hear it on the referee's mic as well when it's like, yeah, everyone's celebrating, coming together. Was there anybody that stood out for you on either team? We've got player of the match was Manon Bigot, the French hooker. She scored their third try.
Little more try, yeah.
But
Sorry, team try.
Team try.
Is there anybody that stood out for you?
Georgia Evans was my standout.
You look so happy.
No,
She had
so
great
good.
stats.
She
had
I
great
don't know about
stats.
the stats, but she tackles very well, and her carries are very good.
Yeah.
It's more
Very, very good.
analysis. I don't know about the stats.
She
from my eyes,
she was
played
getting
very
about
well.
the pitch. She's a workhorse.
Yeah.
For sure.
She
Yeah.
is. I did see a stat. She made 30 out of 30 tackles throughout from the past 2 games and has missed none, which is that is a solid fact. Solid fact.
Is it a fun fact?
Fun fact, not quite fun. But no, I just think every time she touches the ball or has an impact, she is impactful.
She's on the pitch.
More
Yeah,
than
no,
that,
she
When
is
she's
good.
on. Was there anyone that stood out for you?
I think Falou second row,
Yeah.
Mane, has
Yeah.
always been, she's been on a roll. Like, I think she's
Yeah.
getting to the point where you expect her to just have good games, good carries, good defensive collisions. And also Arbez was good in open play. I think she pulled the strings really well. I think kicking out of hand was a bit off from her standards, but I think in open play, she was really good.
Sage insights. One player in this game had more successful tackles than any other player in the round. Who was that, and how many tackles did they make? Sadia, I'm coming to you.
I'm going to say George Evans.
I was going to say the same.
It's almost like you don't know what you're talking about. Time to get into your game. Ireland 5, England 49.
Yeah.
But the half-time score,
yeah.
Ireland 5, England 7. I'm opening the floor, girls. I'm opening the floor.
Well, it was definitely an arm wrestle.
Yeah,
for
it was.
sure, for sure in that first half. And credit to Ireland, they defensively were very, very strong. They made it definitely a hard day for us there.
100%.
And obviously they ended up scoring first.
Yeah.
And I think you could really tell they were getting energy from that crowd, because the
Yeah,
crowd
yeah.
was
Loud.
a lot of green.
Yeah.
And anytime anything went their way, they were huge for them. How did it feel for you in that first half?
I think it was frustrating is the overall thing for us. Like, Ireland put so much pressure on us in defensively, but it was also our own errors that
Some silly
were
errors, yeah.
it wasn't we weren't playing as we usually do. We weren't getting momentum. As I said, we want to build momentum, but when you don't get momentum in the first place, it's very hard to come in pretty static, carry into a hard defensive line is really difficult.
20 minutes, no scores.
Yeah.
And then on the 25th minute, Amy Lee Costigan, she scores. The first time any Irish woman has scored against England in over 6 years. Just to see Ireland scoring first, How do you feel?
I think it was, like Maud said, frustration, because we know what we can do. And, you know, there wasn't a point of like, you know, being stressed or being like, oh, what do we do? Just like, oh, we know what we have in our bag. Like, let's get it together now. Like, let's pull something out. So I think, it was just a feeling of, oh, come on. That was it. But it was a great try. No, you know, props to them. It was a great try.
I thought Dana played very, very well. Like
she kicked so well.
O'Brien.
Yeah.
She kicked very, very well. Yeah. Even her defense was very good. Like she had the best game I've seen her play.
That shootout tackle on Jess Breach.
No, it was good.
Yeah, Dana was special in that game. It took until 34 minutes for you girls to score. In that first half then, did anything surprise you? Were you expecting it from Ireland? Because obviously we've been watching them play. They have been my team to watch for the whole tournament. Did it surprise you what they had on offer in that first half?
I don't think it surprised us. I think we just needed to adapt quicker. Like we needed to realise that they were flying up on our ball carrier, so give the tips earlier, you know? I think that's definitely a big learning for us, like being able to not have to wait till half time to change something, but do it 20 minutes in if that is the case. It didn't feel like we were that far behind, you know? It felt like we were
in control.
We felt in control still, and it's one of those things that we knew if we keep the pressure on, which is what we were letting off, they would eventually crack, which is what the scoreline at the end shows.
Yeah.
But it was just how quick can we get to that point? Do
you go inside yourselves at any point? Is there any sort of a little bit of, not necessarily bickering, but, you know, like, oh, come on, Maud? Or do you think in your head, oh, come on, Ellie, hold on to that ball? Is there any of that? Did any of that happen on pitch?
I think, obviously, there's always a bit between the backs and forwards, especially with a high scrummaging game. Probably for the front row. But also, like, getting out of a scrum and then there being a reset or a knock-on, it's always frustrating. But, like, no one goes out on the pitch aiming to have a small knock-on. Like, you always make those small mistakes in a game. And, like, don't get me wrong, you always have those frustrations, but you've got to keep them in because, you know, at the end of the day, we're a team and we got to work together to get to that.
Yeah. It's not going to help anyone getting angry at your teammates.
No.
It's going to do the reverse effect.
And actually, when you see... I always think you see an opposition start arguing with each other. You've won.
You've won. Yeah, you're in the head.
It's game over for them. So half time then must have been quite the half time chat. Who speaks in those big moments? Are we looking at John? Are we looking at Zoe? Maybe Meg Jones?
Yeah, we kind of have our individual like forwards and backs split, and then we all come together. But the thing is, we are a very clever team. Like we know within ourselves what we've done wrong. You know, Mitch doesn't need to tell us anything. The leadership team, obviously they had like specific things to improve on, but we all knew that it was our skill execution and our handling errors that let us down. Like we just needed to improve that, and then we'd be a different team the second half.
Yeah. And the last time you was tested kind of like that was playing against Canada last year. So how have you been preparing for that moment when you are actually being tested? Like, obviously, I know what you girls go against each other in training, the ferocity you play against each other in training and in those games. And that's often, sadly, the biggest test you get for each other is when you go against each other. So would you say you was prepared for that pressure and prepared to do something about it?
I think we were prepared in terms of, like, it didn't overwhelm us, that there wasn't any bickers or anything. But obviously, like you said, you only get to go against yourself in those training sessions. And, you know each other's plays, you know each other's moves. And Ireland really came out of the blocks. And I think for us, like Maud says, we're a team that really thrives on momentum, and they wasn't allowing us to get that. So I think that was probably our best like test in that game, because now we'll go into Scotland and go into France kind of knowing how to get out of those sticky situations or how it would feel, whereas in training you might not necessarily get that exact kind of moment.
Changing room speeches, ever in your rugby careers, from the moment you started playing rugby till now, has there been any massive standout moments because of the speech and because of the speaker? I know you spoke a lot about Rachel Malcolm Scotty, your captain, being a very passionate speaker. Anything maybe like the World Cup final last time round? Is there any big speeches that really got you going?
I think personally for me, Shaunagh, his speeches at half time.
I thought you were going to say Shaunagh Brown. I was going to say, stop it, Maud.
I don't know if you ever spoke at half time, to be honest.
No, it's not for me.
Yeah, I can remember one game we were playing, bizarrely, Sale at Richmond with Gloucester.
Yeah, I remember that one,
and we were playing not well at all. and we did get a rocket, and we did come out the second half and played a lot better. But yeah, Linny gets you riled up for sure, and he will say it straight how it is. Like, I think there was a clip, I think it's coming out at Gloucester on their channels at some point, and it basically, he was like, Pip, you can run faster than that. And it's like at the halftime speech, and it's quite funny. But like, he's telling the truth. Like, he knows what his athletes can do, so he just said it how it is, which I really respect, to be fair. And sometimes you do need a little rocket.
So what was the difference in that second half then? Because you came out to be, I would say, blazing, because you almost scored within about 30 seconds. Yeah. What was the difference for that whole of second half?
I think we were just so much more direct. I think with our set piece, with our strikes, you had Tat on the ball going forward, Meg on the ball going forward, and then getting the ball out to Ellie. But also we had the forwards tearing it up as well, making line breaks and stuff. I think it was just more of a mindset shift in that second half, just being more direct and more aggressive in those carries.
Physical, yeah.
And so to finish off, did you go out in Cork to celebrate? I've heard it's a great place to be.
We did enter the Cork town, not on the town, you know. No. We just went for...
You're not out.
Not out,
no.
But we wanted to like have like a group.
Just out.
A group social, be out together. Yeah. We went to a nice live music
bar,
it was
really
which was
nice.
Great.
It was so fun.
Great live music.
Like, had a proper boogie.
Yeah.
We were all just together. The parents were in the background as well.
It was like we were being
cute.
Supervised.
Yeah, literally.
It was like all the players and all the parents in the back.
And literally home in bed by 11, so it was dreamy.
And fed.
Yeah,
nice, very important.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds delightful.
It was.
Zoe Harrison started again at 10 this week. That's a couple of back-to-back starts after she's had a pretty rough time getting herself back in that England shirt. So shall we chat 10s and fly halves for a second? What are our England options?
Zoe Harrison, of course, Holly Aitchison, and newly Helena Rowland too.
And of those three main ones, is that the combination you're seeing in training? Is anybody else going in at fly half in training?
I think a few weeks ago when all of the Saris and Gloucester girls were away, did Meg and Skaz go at 10 as well?
Yeah.
So people can drift in and out. Yeah. Like, I think our backs do run quite smoothly. Like, they can interchange quite a lot. I mean, I've obviously got nothing to do with them, but I see them popping up from everywhere.
And telling you what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So of Zoe Harrison, Holly Aitchison and Helena Rowland, what would you say their differences are in playing with them as a fly half?
I think they are quite similar. Like, they have their running game, they have their kicking threats, they have their passing game. Like, they are all quite similar. That's kind of
really?
I do think
I wouldn't say so.
Really?
I would say they all have distinct like things they're good at. Like, I think Hol's passing game, her vision is like her super strength. Zoe Harrison has an amazing boot, and Helena has like the best feet. Game. So I feel like it's different kind of rugby. They kind of try to play around that. So it's different playing with all of them. I feel like, especially being a forward in the wider channels, I probably interlink with them a bit more.
Okay.
So maybe that's why. But I feel like they're all actually pretty different in that sense.
Yeah. Listening to John Mitchell talk post game, I think it was after Wales, and people were questioning him about Ellie Kildan and how often you're going to use her, and his big thing about the team and the different combinations, it's about choosing the right team to attack that opposition.
Or is it horses for courses? Is that the saying?
Yeah, horses for courses, and not having a set team that just plays everyone. Actually, if you want someone if you're gonna rely on a boot for a game, you might pick up Zoe Harrison. If you're gonna rely on someone who's likely to get the ball wider quicker, you might rely on Holly Aitchison. So it's just understanding that's the coach's mindset too. Yeah. He's not set on having a particular person in a particular position no matter what. It's about being able to change and having horses for courses. So Maud, you don't notice a difference?
Well, I do, but I do think, especially within the last year, all three have gotten better at the things that they were maybe weaker at. Like, everyone used to say, I think, Zoe didn't have much of a running game, but her running game was incredible in that game. And in training, I even said to her, I was like, Zoe, your running game's sick, mate.
And as we said, she's had that start in 10 shirt 2 games in a row now. But we don't get to hear a huge deal about her. What's she like? What's she like to play against? Because you play against her in club shirts.
She's got a great boot, like, especially as Gloucester. I think when we played them away at the Stonex, not the final, her kicks were incredible, and we couldn't get out of our 22 because she pinned us back. So that's probably her super strength for USP.
Her USP.
Yeah.
Unique selling point. Go on, Maud.
Unique selling point. I was going to explain it, but I had no idea what it stood for, to be honest.
Yeah. What's it like for you as a 7?
I'd say the same, to be honest. I feel like obviously she pulls the strings really well, as a good 10 does, putting people through the middle, but her kicking game is definitely the thing that stands out. And I always see, the backs having to, come in and discuss what they're going to do to kind of handle her boot in the backfield, which has nothing to do with me. Let me just put it out there.
Oh, you're talking opposition when opposition come in.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd agree with Maud.
And then what are her comms like? Is she a shouter? Is she quiet? Is she
She's a shouter.
direct?
She's a direct. She's a direct girl.
She's very direct.
And especially out there in off like a line-out attack, she wants to know who you're on, where you're on. But she's definitely good at getting the comments. What she wants out, she will get out there, which is good.
One of my favourite things I've ever heard Zoe Harrison say when I was playing, and Jess Breach will back me up. Zoe said, "I'm like NASA." And I go, what?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, what?
The space station.
Yeah, exactly. And I go, why? She goes, so I just love putting people into space.
Oh my gosh.
To be fair, she does come out with some one-liners, so he does.
Does she?
I can't really gauge if she's a roadman or like a posh gal. Sometimes she just switches between the two, which I love it. I love it for her.
Yeah, she's great.
I know what a roadman is. What's a posh gal?
A posh gal.
A posh
gal.
I was going to say, a battery.
Up in Oxford of Moors, or she's from South London with me. I don't know which one she is.
Somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between.
And so what's she like off pitch? If we're not sure if she's posh or roadman woman.
I think pretty direct as well. She keeps herself to herself, but then I really think she's coming out of her shell a lot more in camp. And yeah, she's just good crack, to be honest. Got a lot of laughs and yeah, really good company.
Going from Zoe Harrison, our starting 10 for a couple of games, we're now going to talk to our starting tight head for a couple of games and player of the match.
I know.
Ding, ding, ding.
How crazy.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. It's weird because I don't know. I don't tend to get player of the match. It's just weird.
In the PWR final.
I do know that.
I'm glad.
She is aware. Shaunagh.
I am aware, but I feel like it's nice because I feel like it was more for my scrummaging, which is really cool that they appreciate.
Open play.
No, but I'd like to think I want them to be to do with scrummaging because I do think like sometimes the front row they don't realise how hard it is.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
And I just wanted to do it for the front rows. No, I didn't want to do it
For the front row union.
but yeah,
Front row.
no, exactly.
And
it is
together.
Yeah, it's cool.
What do you get for winning?
Got a medal, which was very cool, and a little trophy, but I have no idea where that trophy went. Like Doc Lewis put a little rubber glove hat on it and then said he'd take it home, so it's probably somewhere at home.
And that's actually an interesting point. I say interesting, I think it's interesting, the difference between like winning something in what it means to win and the physical thing. Because people do, like when I go visit schools, they'll always ask me, oh, how many medals you got? And I'm like, I have no idea, because like the physical medal doesn't mean much to me. It's more what I've won it for. Can you relate?
Yeah, definitely. I think player of the match, I think it's just it's a few people's opinions. Like I think Zoe Allcroft deserves player of the match every week, to be honest. She is insane. Like the amount of work that girl gets through, insane. So, and she very rarely gets player of the match, but she does deserve it. So it is, player of the match is a weird thing. It is that person's opinion, the person on the comms opinion. I'm
going to turn to you, Sadia. Maud, I don't know if you've realised in the World Cup, so our Sadia Kabeya got player of the match in that first game against Fiji.
She did, I remember.
Yes.
Do you remember that bit?
Yes, I remember, yes.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
No.
The trophy?
The trophy.
Yeah, that was cool.
The speaking trophy.
You got a speaking trophy.
Yeah.
Delivered nicely in a nice hard pelly case to protect it on its way back. Where was that trophy after you won it, Sadia? And for the next 7 weeks?
Oh, I definitely left it, didn't I? I left it somewhere. I don't know.
Did you?
All I know is that it got shipped to Loughborough and I found it.
She lost it.
Oh, I didn't lose it because
No,
I
you
never
did
knew where it
lose
was in the
it.
first place.
Do you have it now?
I have it now, yeah, it's in Loughborough.
Cool.
So-
Yeah, because I
cool.
brought it back for her.
What sound does the trophy actually play?
It plays like a segment from the comms from the game.
I
so
do
it's
remember
like
that.
it's in a New
News
Zealand
report.
accent, so I can't reenact, where it's like Sadia Kabeya streaking through the middle and Heather Rowland scores a try, but that was Sadia Kabeya's one. She made that. It's like,
American. Yeah. Literally American comment.
Same.
And
a
they
little jingle.
got it clipped before the end of the game, didn't they? That insane quickness.
So good.
Rapid.
You know,
technology.
our Prem Cup hasn't been engraved since 2022.
Oh.
So
That's poor.
I know.
Has it not been given back?
Is it on you to do it?
I don't know who. Probably is on us. Probably is.
You used to have a word about that.
But very quick, if you can do it by the end of the game, and we can't even get it engraved after 3 years.
Well, I'm sure the Six Nations trophy will be engraved before you lift it on the 26th of April.
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully.
I'm backing you.
Sorry, I didn't mean of course for us. I mean, of course it will be engraved, just to make
Gotcha.
so everyone's clear on that one.
Do you have to do extra media duties afterwards?
I don't know if it was BBC. I don't really know actually who it was,
BBC.
but it was really hard to speak to the guy, like hear him. I literally was like, I could not hear a word he was saying.
Because of the crowd?
No, he had a microphone, but the microphone was obviously connected to the TV or whatever. It wasn't connected to me, so I couldn't really hear him.
So what do you do in that situation?
Just smiling.
I just smile and hope for the best.
Smile.
That is a classic Maud, doesn't it? Just
And you know it's just going to be like, what was the style of the game? How did you think you played?
Yeah.
And normally I don't really know, especially when I'm tired. Oh my gosh,
Maud
I
insights.
go out the window.
Maud Insights 101. So do you ever go into a game feeling like, you know, it's like a really good day, like I'm feeling up for it? Do you ever think, I could get player of the match today?
No.
No.
You don't think about that. You do not think.
No,
you think,
no.
oh, we could put a good performance out and win. You know, you think team first.
Okay, and do you ever, so you've already mentioned you think Zoe Aldcroft should get player of the match most games.
Yeah.
Do you ever think, oh, I played really well today and I didn't get player of the match?
No.
You wouldn't admit that either, would you?
No, that doesn't cross my mind. Sorry, I feel like you're hinting at the fact that you have thought this before, Shaunagh.
Did you ever get player of the match for
I
England?
literally got it once in my life.
Did you get it for England?
Oh no, never for England. Blimey.
In the Prem final.
Yeah.
Very
when it's
cool.
That is a great time
That
to
is
get
a
player
good
of the
time
match.
to do it, yeah.
Allianz Premier 15s
Very
got player of
cool.
the match. And actually, similar to you, it was Sarah Elgin interviewing me. I couldn't hear what she was saying. And so I just answered rugby answers.
Yeah.
And then there came a question at the end and I was like, right, because I know they have like a 3-question rule. Third question, I'm going to go off on one.
Oh, was this when you did your inspirational
Very
speech?
inspirational.
I was actually in the crowd. I was in the crowd
you?
and I was filming your speech and it wouldn't let me film with my phone. You know when it gets like rainbow across the TV because they don't want you to film it.
Oh, yeah.
But I was in the moment listening to your speech there.
Yeah, so I didn't hear the question. I just thought, I'm just going to go
Just
off on
came
one.
from the heart.
Yeah, I'm just going to say what I want to say right now. Got a microphone in front of me, camera, one or two people watching. Italy got their first win of the Six Nations in Scotland and denied Scotland of the losing bonus point. That's a big statement. Did you watch the game?
I did.
What did you think?
On the TV. I think Italy, to be fair, Italy have been playing well. I think they're a really good team. I think everything clicked for them yesterday. And Scotland just had a subpar game for what they, their usual standard.
Yeah. How do you think Scotland will be feeling after that era? An emotional side and they play with heart and soul. How do you feel?
Frustrated. Like a lot of their Instagram posts are like very frustrated. Like that wasn't us. So I think they will be a completely different team next week when we play them. I think they just lost collisions and that was the main thing. And skill execution again wasn't 100%. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how they come out next week.
Yeah, I did really enjoy Evie Gallagher's try though. There's a little
set
the line out. Yeah, I like it.
It was good.
A little bit different, and they went up like it was obviously all planned. Yeah, and she just walked in.
Through. Yeah, obviously it was they'd ID'd that from weeks before.
Yeah,
that Italy defend like that and went straight through the middle.
Training ground execution.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you think of Evie Gallagher?
Good. Lots of turnovers. Classic back row getting the turnovers. I think they just didn't build pressure upon getting penalties. Like they got a penalty, but they didn't do too much with it. They kind of needed to build the scoreboard a bit better, for sure.
Sadia, do you think there's any part of the game that they'll be taking a closer look at with a view to playing against you lot on Saturday?
Yeah, I think, not that I'm an expert at it, but I think the kicking games and where they'll put in the kicks played right into Italy's hand, giving them a good position to attack. Italy made a few breaks down the wing by having one or two passes in the backfield, and they were gone and through. And I think against an England side of the likes of, for example, Ellie Kildun, Abby Dow, Jess Breach in there, you don't want to be giving us that much time and space. So I think they'll definitely be looking at the kicking game and where they can kind of improve that and make it a bit more contestable, maybe.
Yeah, and I think what will show a lot and say a lot about them as rugby players is actually if they do start making, you know, those mistakes of giving our back three the ball, if they can fix that, if they identify it during game, or is it a half-time fix that has to be pointed out to them. And I think that's the difference between good and great rugby players and rugby teams, is that you can fix things on the go. We're over halfway through the tournament now, and everybody knows the big half-time show needs a big quiz.
Whoa.
So our friends at Sage have very conveniently built one for us that you can also do too, and be in with a chance at winning some prizes.
Oh.
Maud, Sadia, choose your buzzer noise.
Ding ding.
Bzzz.
Okay, don't forget it because I feel like you'll both forget it. Right. Cue attention music, please. Which player scored the most tries for France in last year's Six Nations?
Ding ding. Be loud.
Nope. Menage. Who made the most tackles in the 2024 Six Nations?
Buzz. Alex Callender.
Yes, Maud.
Very good.
That was good.
Which team made the most passes in the 2024 Six Nations?
Ding ding.
Yep.
England.
Buzz.
Ireland.
Can you give me a chance to...
No.
No.
Okay. Good game's a good game. Most successful conversions in 2024 Six Nations? Most successful conversions in 2024 Six Nations? Just name a fly half.
Scotland.
Girls, come on. No, sorry.
The person.
Individual with the most successful conversions in 2024 Six
Buzz.
Nations?
Dana O'Brien.
Nope. Wanna go?
Polly Aitchison.
Correct!
Oh.
I thought he was going to kick off because I give her a chance. Why did you not kick off?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
lined it up perfectly. Right. Final question. Which player scored most tries for England in 2000?
Buzz.
No, you have to get to the end of
No,
the
that
question.
wasn't the
I didn't
rule.
say that.
Ellie Kildun.
Ellie Kildun, correct, Maud.
Woo. Who won?
Scores are in.
Scores in the doors.
Maud's our winner.
Yay!
You can play for yourself at home. Just follow the link in our bio to do Sage's quiz for yourself, and you could win
An England shirt signed by the Red Roses. A rugby ball signed by Sarah Hunter.
Ooh.
A Scotland shirt signed by Helen Nelson. Or a £200 rugby merch voucher.
Blimey.
Blimey.
So once again, thank you, Sage. It's that time again for Maud's Eye View, which is a lovely time of week, isn't it, Maud?
Favourite time of the week.
However, the jingles we've not quite got there yet. I think your attempt last week, Sadia, is probably what broke Camel's back.
Oh.
So
okay.
I've got some for you.
With my voice.
Maybe,
So, okay.
maybe not.
All right.
You ready to listen?
Ready.
This is my R&B remix.
Okay.
Maud's Eye View.
No.
Maud's Eye View.
Ooh. Yes, sounds so good. Yes, sounds so good.
Okay, next we're going to move on to the trap remix. I'd say this is for Zoe Harrison. Zoe Harrison would...
Oh, she's on.
Yes, sounds so good. Yes, sounds so good. That's my favourite bit.
Maud's Eye View. Maud's Eye. Okay.
And then I've got one more for you.
Okay.
The drum and bass version.
Okay.
Is that your voice? Why are you not moving? You have to move the drum and bass.
I think I was so shook.
I was really taken aback
Okay,
by
let's
that.
In the
I can't really say drum and bass is a bit
No,
of
I'm
me,
not
you
a
know?
drum and bass
No.
girly.
What's your favourite one?
I'm quite like the R&B.
Yeah.
Did you? I
Yeah.
love the thought of getting Zoe Harrison on because this is a bit of her. Okay, so we're saying R&B version.
R&B, yeah.
Okay, say it and it shall be done. However, if anybody else thinks they can do a better job, please feel free to save us from these jingles and make us a good one. And who knows, maybe we'll use it. Thank you. What might we have missed, but you got on Maud's Eye View?
Well, last week I did a colour analysis on Lucy Packer, my roommate, which I think was very entertaining, if I do say so myself. I basically just held up a load of coloured fabric onto her body to see what suited her, basically, and I was brutally honest,
And
as I always am.
And if the viewers want to find out and the listeners want to find out what suited her, tune in to
Maud's Eye View.
Wow!
She's changed the jingle. It's actually
wasn't the brief,
Maud's
but
Eye
okay.
View, Maud's Eye View, Maud's Eye View.
And as we go into Scotland game week in Leicester, what's one thing you're excited about going into the game?
I'm excited to be back in the Midlands, back in the hometown.
Nice.
Back in the hometown, you know. I'm a London girl, but that's where my heart is, up there. So excited to be back.
Maud?
Can't say Leicester's my dream destination, but I am excited to get...
Emily Scarrett will be
mean?
fuming
I know.
with that comment.
I am excited to see all the Leicester people, of course. Leicestershire, what are they called? Something? Leicesterians or something like that?
We'll just leave it there.
The Leicesterians.
The Leicesterians.
I'm just looking forward to the game.
Yeah.
And I'll be pitch side joining you. So if you need an extra winger, I'll have my boots in the car.
Okay.
Nice. Of course.
I'll let Mitch know, just in case.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're next in.
We're here every Wednesday during the Women's Six Nations, but don't worry, Ben and Dan's show will still be dropped on a Monday and Thursday. If you're a listener, hit the follow button, please.
If you watch the show on YouTube, hit subscribe.
If you've got a question for next week, search for Love of Rugby on Instagram. Click the link in our bio. Bye.
See you next time.